Hello, fellow Star Trek fans. Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Dry Dock with me, myself, Mike number 1, and the lovely Mike number 2. Now, this month, I should say, we are going to be checking out issue 4 of the Fanhome Starship Star Trek collection, which, let's face it, it was a ship we were all dying for. It is the Enterprise F, and by God, she's beautiful. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yes, it is officially the Enterprise F.
Or fine.
The Enterprise Fine, the Odyssey class. For those that have played Star Trek Online for many years.
Lots of times.
To see her emerging from space dock in season 3, we were like, finally, canon!
Yes, at long last.
Very excited. Yeah, very excited to receive this delivery.
If partially missing things, which we're going to get to in a bit. So we're going to break this into our standard 3 sections, which are, of course, the experience so far. All of the niggles we have so far, there's quite a few this week, or this month, I should say. We're going to talk about the magazine, again, lots to talk about, and then we're going to talk about the model, which again has some things to worth mentioning. So, first things first, experience. Again, this month, I've been very happy. It arrived on time. Yodel didn't have any issues. I think our dear friends in America are rejoicing because they have now switched to FedEx. As of next month, I believe. I saw the post go out earlier this week. So next month, all of these will be going out via FedEx instead of the United States Postal Service. So hopefully our American friends should be a lot happier and actually receive their models on time.
Well, for the first month in a while, I had a successful proper delivery from Yodel, in which you received the notification that yours had been shipped, and then within an hour, I too received my notification it had been shipped. And the shop app and Yodel being as they are, they say estimated delivery 2 weeks next Tuesday. You go, that's fine. And then suddenly it's in the truck 17 stops away. So you're like, okay, that's good. I was fortunate enough to be at home this time around for the delivery, and to my astounding surprise, I received a knock on the door. Ooh. And there was my package. It was not yeeted over the back fence. It was in someone's hand right in front of me, and they were going, my liege.
Do they happen to take a picture of your feet to go, yes, we've received delivery?
Oh, not only my feet, my good man, the box and my crotch, just to confirm that it was me. So I was like, hi, yes, that is my bulge. I accept this parcel. Now, I have one drawback regarding the packaging, shall we say. For the box is mighty big compared to... No. Not that box.
Oh, the actual...
Which, by the way, can I just point out the design on that box for the special edition?
Let's skip that for a second. Let's talk about your brown box first. Then we'll talk about this box and thoughts.
Yeah, the box I received the in was twice the size of the
Now,
therefore,
is that because it's supposed to have gifts in said box? Unfortunately, the gift fairy skipped yours for.
The gift fairy Q said, no, Captain Goodwill does not deserve a ridiculously small mug and a perspex LCARS of the G.
Well, hang on. Let's change that to heavily damaged and scratched LCARS of the G.
Oh, we will get to that shortly. But yes, the box was far too big for what was inside, and my paranoias were confirmed, for when I opened the box, she was critical. Look at her. But there was a nacelle, so I didn't worry about it. It's a quick glue job. But yeah.
I beg your pardon? A quick what job?
Quick glue job. Look it up on Urban Dictionary. Look, yeah, I didn't get the free gifts. I got a lovely letter. This is there. Like 4 sentences.
Shit, you're not getting your gifts this month, mate.
Well, kind of annoying because it has my order date, my order number, my subscriber number, And then it goes, "Hi, customer."
Well, they couldn't even do a mail merge field? Come on.
"Hi, customer,"
I mean, they
in
could have at least
lowercase.
themed it to say hello, Captain, or
Yeah,
something along.
as someone who works in an office that uses a mail merge system,
Yeah, it's not exactly
hi,
difficult.
hi, customer. Due to the huge success of this collection, we've run out of stock and we are unable to deliver the gift you were expecting to receive in this package. Right. So, first bit of feedback. Due to the huge success of the Star Trek Starships collection, we've run out of stock of the gifts and we are unable to deliver the gifts you were expecting to receive in this package. Sorry about that. Just to let you know, rather than wait for the missing gift to come back into stock, we wanted to start sending you the items we do have available right away. Don't worry though, the missing gift will be included in your next shipment. Thanks for understanding. Please give us a call if you have any questions. Now,
Look, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, I'm not being funny. This is issue 4. We are 4 months in. You know how many damn subscribers that you've got. I'm not being funny. The rather shit tiny mug does not take 4 months lead time. I could order these from China tomorrow and have them here in 6 weeks.
I like the letter itself. Yeah, quality control needs to look at the letter, shall we say?
Well,
As
I mean, you
someone who
started
works
off
in
with gifts and you've ended up with one.
gift, yeah. But in terms of like, yeah, look, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered that I didn't get the free gifts this month. I got the ship. That is the important thing.
Yeah.
However, if you are going to send stuff out in a ridiculously large box with a small item in it, for God's sake, newspaper, rubbish, bubble wrap, put something.
Yeah.
I sell stuff on eBay. I know if I've got a big box and the package is small, I know to either wrap
Even
it or
Amazon put paper in the box.
just put crap in that box to ensure that at least it will get. Yes, it's annoying that you have to for far, but the package will be safe and not damaged. So
Yeah.
that was my only niggle. Not bothered about the free gifts. You know, like Mike said, Mike number 1, 4 months lead time. You should have known. That's fine. It could have been a supplier issue, a delivery issue. I don't care. But
Yeah, but
protect the main thing.
To not, I mean, the only thing I would say about the gifts is, you know, it goes back to that thing. You know how many subscribers you've got. You
Yes.
know when the stock is going to be arriving.
Yes.
Why is it you have to wait for the package to arrive to find out, oh, sorry, we haven't got it?
They play
could
devil's
have
advocate
quite
though.
easily sent an email out the day your order was shipped to say, great news, your order shipped. Unfortunately, this time around, we haven't got the gifts that we've promised you. They will be coming in a future shipment.
To play devil's advocate though, they did post on social media and
Yes,
they
did.
and it was in the groups. However,
You don't know
I
if that
completely
applies to you.
exactly. I completely agree. It should just be they know your email address, they know you're a subscriber. Even if they just put a notice on the Fanhome account to say this is going to be shipped without the freebies.
Yeah.
Really apologize.
On
They will. Yeah.
your Fanhome account, does it have the gifts listed?
No.
Okay, so you do have a kind of inkling because for mine, it actually had the gifts listed on the actual order.
Well, I'm going to have to double check that now because I'm pretty sure that they were there.
Right. Well, I tell you what. Then, while you're logging into that, let's talk about the other box in the room. I have thoughts. It's a nice box. It looks just as nice as the rest of them. Guys, have you heard of color profiling? I mean, this thing looks more washed out than, well, I don't know. It looks like a ghost has hit it. It's like it's got 50% color saturation. We're talking about a box, not the end of the world. But what some nice touches that they have got is the text down here is nicely embossed. So it's raised.
It's
And then
raised, it's
the Star
shiny.
Trek, only the words Star Trek are in a nice silver foil, and again, they're
Yes.
embossed, and it's the same here as well. So, some nice little touches, I have to say. The
So,
only thing I would say about that, I'd rather they'd save the 75p on that and actually put that 75p into something else. Whether that's going to be some elements on the model that are missing, or we're going to harp on about Mike's favorite subject, the shit quality of the magazine.
so I'm in my Fanhome account.
Yep.
And to be fair, in my fourth order package, 71 English pounds, there is no mention of the free gifts. They
Right.
have, however, prepped the fifth standalone package of the Ractogino mug and the Okudagram.
Oh, okay. So you're going to be getting a second package soon then.
It's a
That will
standard.
be arriving.
All it just says, another edition is coming to keep your collective alive, coming up
Yep.
soon. So what I think they're going to do is with issue 5, I think they've just put these in now and then merge them.
Or they've now arrived, and to save a lot of faff for later on, they're just going to ship them out.
Potentially. But yeah, so yeah.
So let's talk about other packages for a second. I don't have the box for the mug because I threw it away, but it just comes in a plain white mug with, like when you order like a big batch of something, you get like 8,000 of 10,000, and it just says on the side of it, Ractogino mug, 220 milliliters, silver, chrome, and that's literally what it comes in. It just comes in a plain white box with a little bit of gumph, very much like the mysterious brown package that also comes in, which is quite weighty. And it just says on it, produced by Editorial Planitia D'Agostini SAV. Imported and distributed by D'Agostini, blah, 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 blah. And it's got some recycled. And it just says gift in the bottom corner. Ooh. Now, this is the Okudagram. Now, complete disclosure here. This is my second Okudagram. This Okudagram, which is not scratched.
He's had 2.
Yes, I've had yours.
I have had none. They sent mine to him.
Which comes in this very nice... I'm going to put it in front of the box because otherwise you're going to get my face. So
instead, you'll get a reflection of me.
Yeah, if I do that, you probably get...
There you go. Yeah, that's better.
So
yeah.
In this Perspex frame, which is held together with magnets, and it's quite a nice touch, I have to say, you get a... Well, here's one I prepared earlier. This is what is inside. Now, mine came... So it comes with protective film on both sides of the Perspex. So you have to pull the frame apart to pull the film off. There was a lot of confusion because people were pulling the top layer off and going, it's still frosted. You have to remove both parts. Now, quality control, people. Let's talk about quality control. So, the Okudagram is matte on one side, glossy on the other. The glossy side is the side that you look at because it's the side that doesn't have the print. It looks like it's printed from behind. But, as you might be able to see, I have chunks taken out of mine, and there's also some scratches.
Oh, so good heavens.
There's you see by my finger there, there's missing, and then the plastic's all chewed at the bottom here. It's not great, and the Perspex frame got massive gouges throughout it. And there's a massive gouge, not this one, the other one is over there, and I'm not going to get it because I don't want to. But it has a massive giant scratch that runs all the way along, and then another one that runs all the way down here. And they're not the kind of thing that you can just kind of gloss over. They are quite noticeable.
Do you think that when they've received the delivery, it was top of the box? So when they've used the knives, they've probably just done that?
No? Because the actual cardboard box it came in was not.
No, I meant before they packaged them into that.
No,
perhaps.
Now I'm not the only one. There's been a lot of people online that I've seen that have had massive scratches, chips, gouges, all kinds of stuff happen to their Perspex.
Oh, good heavens!
What I think has happened is they have been made incredibly cheaply. And no, there's been no quality control. So what I have noticed about this essentially sheet of acetate, Perspex, plastic, whatever you want to call it, sort of the right around, is it looks like it's part of a sheet and someone either with a pair of scissors or a guillotine has just cut them into strips. Because one, this is not cut straight, there's a little divot here, and I've compared it because I was going to double layer and put the new one behind in front of the old one to get rid of the gouges, but also to make it more saturated.
Yeah.
And they don't match. One's a different thickness to the other. So they're being cut by hand. So what I think has probably happened is that they've had these printed in massive sheets.
Yeah.
Some poor sod in a warehouse somewhere has had to cut these into slips. And then they have just bulk ordered 100,000 Perspex frames from the cheapest source they could find in China.
I am just...
Now, what's interesting is
brochure.
on the collector's guide, this has rounded corners.
I'm just about to look at that.
And it also, so you'll notice that this part of the LCAR magically stops. Is cut right to the edge. Now, I know why. I can tell you exactly why. And I'm happy with this because I know why.
Yeah.
Like anything that is a licensed product, it must contain some copyright gumph.
Yes.
Which this does. This says copyright 2024 CBS Studios Inc. Star Trek, all rights reserved, blah 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 blah. And what they've done is they put it in the smallest text known to man down this side.
Oh.
Which is good because it's not actually impacting the actual design. And in theory, there is nothing stopping you from cutting that off. And
I see where you're going with this, but yes, go on.
Yeah. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up getting a guillotine, trimming this on both sides, and getting I've got a rounded corner punch somewhere for business cards. I'm going to round the corners.
Do you know why it's on the acrylic?
Why is what on the acrylic?
Why it's on the paper, sorry. Because in the original Okudagram from the turbo lift, on the collector's brochure, the copyright is actually engraved on the acrylic. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. There, can you see it?
Oh, yes.
That looks awful if it were going to do it that way. So I'd much rather have it on the LCAR's panel than the actual acrylic.
Oh, do you know what I have just worked out?
Yes.
It's got a protective film over the top of it. Look how shiny that is now.
Oh. Oh, okay. We take everything back. So...
But the only thing I would say is the print quality is probably about as good as the magazine. It's missing a lot of detail. As someone that has studied, especially this one. So, right, I have two things, right? I know this graphic inside out and back to front. Okay?
You do know your LCARs.
It's also one of the few pieces of LCARs that Mike Okuda never touched.
Right. Are they just calling it an Okudagram because that's the more common name for LCARs displays? Or
Possibly.
MSDs?
But, fun fact, this piece here was actually created by Jeffrey Mandel.
For the turbo lift?
Yep. Jeffrey Mandel created all the static files for the turbo lift. Which is a fun little fact, which is why a lot of the turbo lift graphics and also a lot of the stickers, now I have production-made stickers, and here's one I printed earlier, uses Euro-style candy as the font.
Are we experiencing the Mandel?
Where anything that wasn't created by Jeffrey Mandel, such as these ones, use tungsten.
Yes, they do.
But Jeffrey Mandel preferred Euro style.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at a lot of the turbo lift graphics, a lot of the turbo lift graphics have got Euro style candy as the font.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go into why. I've spoken to both parties in this conversation, so I know why, but I'm not going to because it's not my place to say so. But
Fontgate!
Yes, pretty much. So I reached out to a couple of people who I know work production, who I thought created this.
Yes.
And I got told exactly who created it. And I just think it's a little bit misleading that they're calling this an Okudagram because there is that expectation that this is something that Mike Okuda created. And actually, it's one of the few pieces that Mike Okuda never came into contact with.
I can get where they're coming from, though.
I do. Yeah. I personally, I actually reached out. Unfortunately, I don't have. I'm having a brain fart now. What's his name?
Michael Okuda.
Used to work for Eagle Moss.
Ben Robinson.
Thank you. I don't have Ben Robinson's contact details, but I know someone who does. And I messaged that person and I said, not being funny, that's not technically a piece of work that Mike Okuda did. It could be classed as misleading, calling it an Okudagram, because it implies that Mike Okuda created it. An Okudagram, technically, an Okudagram is the LCARs that predates Picard.
Yes.
Because it's all stuff that he designed and created. So technically, calling this an Okudagram could be classed as misleading.
because Michael Okuda started on, I believe, Star
Well, he
Trek
started on Star Trek 2, I think
4,
it was.
Star Trek 2, Star Trek
Two,
4.
Star Trek
So
4,
yeah,
maybe one of those two, because
yeah,
he did all of the Enterprise B graphics.
he did.
And
Yes,
then ended up creating L-Cards for TNG, and then it kind of exploded from there. But he had
yeah.
oversight. Him and Denise had oversight. Obviously, Denise did majority. I believe Denise did majority of motion graphics, where Mike, Jeffrey Mandel, did predominantly the static graphics.
But this is why the old guard were brought back in for Picard
100%.
season
Oh
2.
yeah, 100%. But
Yeah.
I just, me personally, me being me with my hat on, I just think it's slightly misleading calling
Yeah.
that an Akudagram, because the actual ship outline itself, I've got the Illustrator file for it somewhere. That was created by Jeffrey Mandel using Doug Drexler's side ortho as
Yeah.
the reference for it.
Yeah.
But yes, so if you can get one that isn't scratched, and I have to say, massive, massive props to Fanhome for this one, because within about 20 minutes of it arriving, I pulled the plastic off and realized it had massive gouges in it. And that I messaged them on live chat. I said, guys, this is damaged. What can we do about it? And they said, send us the pictures. So I sent them the pictures. He went, I am so sorry. That should not have happened. We're going to send you a replacement. Week later, the replacement arrived. And they didn't want the old one back, which I'm also very grateful for, because it means that I can utilize the frame for something else. But for me, because I have some production bits, the dead space in here, I'm going to put some of those stickers in, because I've got a whole collection of them that I need to find a home for.
He's going to frame my letter apologising that I did not have the free gifts.
Yes, exactly. So yes, look, the Akuda, look, I think there was expectations that there was expectations that this was going to be a lot bigger than it actually was, which I think is frustrating. It would have been nice to have some dimensions on the. But if you are a nerd, like pretty much me, Mike, and I'm going to say the vast majority of the people watching this video, because we are all nerds, it makes a nice piece to put on your desk.
Yes.
I have to say. Me personally, I've got it on top of one of my speakers here because I have a lamp behind it, and it now means that the light shines through it. I have often thought about getting a piece of like white paper just to put behind it, because I was tempted to scan it first and then print just the black. So you completely black out the black, and then you've got something behind it, because it's very nice, and it is very nice, but it does need to be backlit. 100% needs to be backlit. Because when it's backlit, it's beautiful when it's backlit.
I have an idea for mine, but essentially I'm just going to have an LED strip above it, a strip light, and then just have it glowing down into...
The only thing I would say about that, any kind of impurity, let's say, on that perspex will stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh, I might just get a diffuser light or something white. And
Well,
just do that.
do you know what? I reckon if you were to get some clear adhesive, because you can get those glue dots, can't you, that are clear?
Yes.
I reckon if you got some glue dots and you put 6 to 8 of them, because I mean, it is a little bit hefty, but I reckon if you put like 3 up each side and maybe a couple across the top, because they're clear, you could stick it up against a wall quite easily. And if you've got a white wall, then actually it would work quite well. Let's get rid of that box over there. But it definitely works better backlit. I'll put some pictures up of what it looks like backlit. But I'm tempted, as I've got a spare that's damaged, I might trim it down and then put it into an actual frame that's white with a white background. So it almost looks backlit, but it's not backlit, if you know what I mean. So yes, bit of a mixed bag this month on the experience front. The Gumph in the box, it's okay. It just seems to be that I don't feel the same love and attention has gone into this collection like the Eagle Moss stuff did.
I'm disappointed that, considering we have had a collection of mugs released for Star Trek, the Thermos mugs, which I have quite a few of. Yeah. this is the smallest and most useless one.
Yeah, it doesn't even. It literally. I mean, most people have. I don't have a banana, but AirPods for scale. It's 2 AirPods Pro high. It's shorter than a can, than a 330ml can.
It's just for display purposes, whereas the other mugs are like, yeah, it's a thermos.
And
You
the other
can use
thing
it.
that annoys me as well is it's got a border around it.
Yeah. Just a really bad decal.
Because, well, that's what I thought, but I think it's screen printed.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't peel it off. Because what I was going to do was peel it off, and
Yeah.
I know a guy I know a guy that makes really good stickers for mugs.
Yeah.
They're waterproof and heat proof, and I was going to get a nice Titan one or something and put it on there, but you can't peel it off, and it's on the wrong side because you're going to drink it like that, so it kind of defeats the point.
Yeah, as a left-handed person, no one ever sees the logo on my mug.
See, I'm right-handed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, right. Magazine. Oh dear, Fanhome. We got all excited last month when we had this really sexy, very glossy, perfectly printed magazine for that to for you to give us the middle finger to go, no, we're going back to the shit we had before. So this month's magazine, we've lost the glossy cover again. We've lost the glossy pages. We've gone back to whatever crap paper they used. And again, it's got more stripes in it than a zebra. I mean, look. I mean, come on, people. How can you approve that? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Can you see mine?
I mean, what? Yeah, I've got exactly the same. I have exactly the same thing. It's like, come on, guys. And this is what I'm talking about. There's almost like, there you go, look.
Yeah.
There's no care and attention that seems to be put into this, which is a shame. And I know I'm not the only person that's saying that. A lot of fans have been saying the same thing, that, it's just been sold off to the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
And it is a shame because at the end of the day, D'Agostino, you are a damn magazine company first. How can you not print a magazine? I mean, this one, for me, it's not even cut properly because I've got pages bleeding through and everything else. It's a shame because, especially on something that is
a special edition.
£71.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was paying £71 for just the model, I would still be upset. And we're going to talk about the model in a bit because there are parts of the model that really should be overlooked.
Look, now, this is a special edition.
Yeah.
It is slightly bigger, the model, but the magazine
doesn't even line up.
The magazine, if you were going to do a special edition, and it is, let's be honest, it's an enterprise.
Yeah.
You need to do something better. You need to have more than 15 pages. And look, we're going to get into it later.
I'm not asking, right? I mean, so funny story. Actually, I was in the office today at work, and we'd actually had some brochures arrive that I'd had ordered up a couple of weeks ago. And they arrived, and actually I have a very similar problem. I have streaky print. I've actually got pages in completely the wrong order, so that's a whole other story. But they are 65-page stapled brochures.
Mm-hmm.
I paid £500 for 250 65-page A4 stapled brochures.
Yeah.
If I owned the printing company, that's probably only going to cost me about £110 cost price. Well, no, probably even less than that. So what is essentially a 17-page, because it's cover as well, 17-page booklet is probably going to cost, I would say, anywhere from about 75p to £1.20.
Mm-hmm.
I would have expected for a limited, you can do what they call a perfect bound brochure. Mm-hmm. Perfect bound booklet, which is essentially one with a glued, hard-edged spine. Like if you remember those Eagle Moss graphic novels that they did, very much like that. So they're a hardcover, right? They literally cost 60p more per unit for this size. And I would have expected for a limited edition like this, I would have at least expected a glossy cover. not the same shite we've been having for the first two. Because as I said, we got all excited last month that they finally listened, they finally fixed all of the bugs that we had, and we pleaded for them to reissue number 1 and 2. And instead, it's just like, well, perhaps that was just a fluke, or it wasn't done on purpose, and there was an issue. So actually, we're just going to revert back to the same crap we've been churning out. And I just think for £71 or 70, I think is it $78?
$78.71,
Yeah.
and it does not feel like a special edition. There is
No.
nothing on the magazine that indicates
Nope.
that it is a XL, that is a special edition.
Nope.
It just says issue 4.
I mean, they could have even, if they wanted to, have done a spot gloss on the logo just to raise the logo up like they've done on the box.
Yeah.
I mean, the foiling is expensive, so I can understand why they haven't foiled it, but spot gloss isn't expensive. But then you can't do a spot gloss on this paper.
What I am, above all else, and I am not dunking on Fanhome, please don't think I am always dunking on Fanhome. What I am most disappointed at is the sheer lack of new or undiscovered or information about the Enterprise F in this magazine that has never been discussed, or is, we've literally got, right, this is the Enterprise F, it's the Odyssey class, it was in this.
I think,
now,
right,
when I read...
just to jump in for 1 second, what I have noticed about these magazines, right, the first double page spread is the in-universe talking about it. It's what the ship is. And every magazine, and then you get your orthos, and then the rest of it is how the ship was created. So I think you need to look at it from kind of page 8 onwards, because there's only so much you can kind of fit in, but yes.
But this is the problem I have. Before season 3 of Picard came out, Paramount on the Star Trek Instagram pages did background information on the USS Titan, the USS Enterprise D, the Enterprise F. And in the information for the Enterprise F, it said that this ship was being decommissioned because it was damaged beyond repair because of a mission that it did previous to Frontier Day, right? That was from Paramount. That was on a Star Trek official social page. Everyone took that information as gospel.
As canon, because it kind of is.
Canon. It was all there. And then you get this magazine, and it basically says, oh, well, at the event of Frontier Day, the Enterprise F was damaged beyond repair, so it was decommissioned.
Which is wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong. So Paramount said, this is the Enterprise F. This is why you only see it here. It's been decommissioned because of this. This is what Paramount rolled out before season 3. In this book, that is not true, and it was actually just decommissioned because of the damage on Frontier Day. Was it? Where's the information for that? Who has told you the information about it? It conflicts with what ship nerds as ourselves, and many other YouTube channels and many other Star Trek fans will have seen that and gone, well, it was on Memory Alpha. And Memory Alpha got it from Paramount. Now,
I was going to say, it's on Memory Alpha, isn't it? I think still.
Yeah. And now suddenly, the official Starship collection has said, no, it was damaged beyond repair on Frontier Day. That's why it was decommissioned. But in Star Trek Picard itself, it shows on Raffi's information board, you had the Voyager B, you had Rachel Garrett's statue, the official decommissioning of the Enterprise F, and that was before Frontier Day. So that's my only issue with that part of the magazine, is that the information at the start, the in-universe information that Mike has said, is wrong, and the information that we have after the orthos is so common knowledge about this ship, so common knowledge that...
The other thing as well is, one of the other things I also noticed is you kind of, once you get past those pages, because I mean, after reading that, I'm kind of going, well, hold on a second, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I just carried on reading, right?
Yeah.
And you get to the next double page spread, which has got this beautiful 3D render, and it is a beautiful 3D render. And then it's got an in-game render as well. And then you get to the next page, and sorry, I think it's a couple of pages in. Where is it? Hang on, I'm trying to find the bit now. Here it is, right, page 12. So the only problem I have with this is the text is a bit jumpy all over the place.
Yeah.
And you have to really know what you mean. So anyway, I'm just going to read you a quick excerpt. It says, once STO had chosen this design, they said about building the CG model that could have been used in-game, blah, 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 blah. Right, Mattison set out on building the digital clay model of the ship, which he could then be examined from every angle. Since he only had a three-quarter view of the ship, he explains he had to do some extrapolation to do. And then it goes, Mattison passed the task to Morone, who had just joined the STO team relatively recently. Last time I checked, Thomas Morone has been working on Star Trek Online for nearly 15 years. Who the hell wrote this?
No, does that allude to the actual design of it back in 2010?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Why did they not say? But it's worded in present tense.
Yeah, I got confused by that because I was going. Well,
I had to read it like 3 or 4 times, and then it's only then when it then goes. Morone has given the original version an upgrade in 2016 as part of Star Trek Online's ongoing commitment to make the game more and more advanced. But when Blast called him in 2022, that upgraded model was aging and a long way from the level of detail that was to be experienced in a major TV show made in HD. As soon as Morone got home, he started working, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read it all out. And then essentially it then talks about how Thomas then updated the model, which that part of it, I think is great because there isn't an awful lot of info. He's done some interviews, he's done some talks. We've had him on the show in the past to talk about it, but not specifically about that. So I think it is great that we kind of get that bit of an understanding. We get to see the digital clay and where he's added more detail in, and that's great. But the first 2/3 of it, don't make any sense. It jumps in tenses. It's written almost like it was pulled from an article in 2012 or something and not been proofread. And it just, again, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. It is missing that care and attention that all the previous ones, all the previous collections from Eagle Moss and whoever, okay, maybe not quite so much Corgi, but have all had. And it just feels slapdash and half-assed. And what a lot of people have said, and I'm leaning towards this, I wasn't originally, but I'm leaning towards this, it was sold off to the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
And that is a shame for fans and a shame for us, because it does mean that we are essentially spending £71 or $78. And, yes, the model is the biggest part of it. And we understand that. But we also like the magazine. I remember back when Master Replicas took over all of the old Eagle Moss stock, there was a huge outcry for the magazines because they were only shipping the models. Wasn't there? There was a massive outcry. Eventually, they got them. And I know people like the lovely, I think was he Singaporean? I want to say Singaporean, Pundus, the old panda. He had a massive rampage about a year ago, digitizing as many magazines as he could get his hands on.
Yeah, exactly. Because
exactly, and I just feel like once again, and I'm going to say this. I think other than one model, it's missed the mark again.
Look,
I am dreading the next batch of free gifts.
Look, we harp on about the magazines. Yes, there's quality control issues, but what we are trying to get through is we care. We don't just care about the models. We care about the information, the in-universe explanation, the background.
Love the whole
thing.
We
want every little bit of detail. And I know you've only got 15, 16, 17 pages worth to cram that in, but don't...
Why cap it at 17 pages, including the cover? You could easily stick another 4 pages in here.
If this is the Enterprise, if this is an XL special edition of an Enterprise, make this a thicker magazine. Give us
what are they going to put in the Enterprise G one?
Nothing.
Because everything around the Enterprise G, other than the fact it was going to be called something completely different and a certain person put his foot down and said no.
That's all they're going to say.
Which isn't that common knowledge, to be fair. what are they going to put in it? Because it's the same damn ship as the Titan. I mean,
it's going to be Control C and V for most of that magazine.
yeah.
I'm telling you.
I mean, the other thing as well is, I mean, I know this is an XL, but there's not a lot of size difference between it and the Titan.
Well, shall we get into the model?
Yes, let's get into the model.
Let's get into the model, and straight off the bat,
she's hefty.
She is hefty. She is hefty, but straight off the bat, I wholeheartedly agree. If you do a size comparison between this ship and the Titan, there is not a lot of size difference.
Something.
What?
Are you missing a bit of paint off of the?
No, you've got a paint chip. But at least you don't have a broken nacelle. But speaking of missing paint,
I did have two, but that was Neelix's fault. We're going to blame Neelix for that one.
Speaking of missing paint, this is look right. This is a stunning model. It is very detailed. They have done away with the window misaligning issue by eliminating the divots.
Absolutely no. Actually, I have just noticed I've got more paint missing. Actually,
I mean, it is by far and at least right. Apart from a glaring issue, the most stunning model that I have in my collection.
Oh no! Well, I don't know about you. There are some window misalignments on the lower part of the nacelle. You can see where they're supposed to be in the grooves, and they've just painted them on top.
Again, I think I'm knocking it out of the park with window misalignment issues because I am 4 for 4 at the moment. But this is stunning. This is absolutely one of the most highly detailed and most beautiful models I have on my shelf. Now, the elephant in the room that has irked a lot of Starship fans is, for some reason, well, we know what the reason is, but it's the lack of impulse engines. Now,
something to bear in mind with this class of ship, there's actually, I'm going to say 4 groups of impulse engines. You have 2 on the top here, on essentially here and here.
Yeah.
On the saucer.
On the saucer.
And then essentially the pylons, oops, I can't get my fingers right.
Yeah.
On the back side of the pylons, there are, I think it's 5.
There's 5 on each side.
5 on each side of the pylons. Now, there is no reason why the ones in the pylon could not have been painted on. There is no reason at all, because the grooves are there, and you can get a fine paintbrush and paint them in. I've seen people do it.
Yeah.
Now, in theory, there is also no reason why they could not have done the others. Yes, it would have been a little bit more complicated because of the design, and I get that. But again, we're going back to a problem where the finer details are not being looked at.
But it's the justification that irks me, because the justification for this ship not having its impulse engines painted is it was not on the VFX model that they had to build. That was the answer I heard. But even if it was, I know. But even if it wasn't, common sense would be to look at the model, look at that, and go, we could just paint that.
But is that because now, is that okay? How do I word this without pissing people off? Is it because Paramount don't seem that interested in it, and they are just like, we don't care, just get on with it?
Yeah.
Or is it because the people at Fanhome were like, well, it ain't on the model, so we're not doing it because we only want to do the bare minimum?
I think they get the VFX model, they do it as close to the VFX model as possible. Then they
class it as gospel. If it's not the VFX
they class it as gospel, and then they knock them out because it's either, well, it will take X amount of weeks to build these, paint them, and ship them out. But if we want to do the finer details, that could double the lead time in them being constructed, painted, quality checked, and then sent out.
Yeah. But I just don't understand why. I mean, for something that would have cost, I get, once again, I'm just going to go back to what I said. It's the Titan all over again.
Yeah.
And I feel like that rather than just owning up, going, you know what, guys, we are really sorry, we screwed up. We're really sorry, guys, we screwed up.
Yeah.
We're going to do better in the future.
Yeah.
Instead, they're just like, ain't on the VFX model. So,
yeah,
I bet you anything. Actually, hang on, let me check, because I actually have a render from the Star Trek, the VF. Well, that'll be the VFX model. I have. When the model was updated, I know someone who has the 3D model from Star Trek Online, and that person very kindly did me some renders for my LCARS work.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it right here. Bear with me 1 second. Now it's going to be under that, and it's going to be under ship renders. Where are you? Odyssey. Now you're going to be under Enterprise, or are you going to be under? That's Ent E, so that's E. Bear with me, because I've got to find it. I have lots of ship renders. Now, bear in mind, these are clay, so they're not. They don't have the paint on it, but it would mean that if for any reason, that's the Ross, that's Voyager, that's also Voyager. What the hell did I do? You know when you put something in a folder and then you can't find it. Yes. That's definitely the Enterprise E. Sagan class, Luna, Nebula, Sutherland, Stargazer, Titan, Sagan, Enterprise E, Enterprise texture. Okay, let me just check my backup 1 second. No, where are you going to be under Picard? You're going to be under Enterprise F, and then you are going to be there. Let's open up that file. That's right. I always keep because of the way that the colorings and that are all done. I have the renders in a design file that I've recolored, but none of the coloring is permanent, so I can undo the coloring. Yep, they're there. They're there in the Star Trek Online model.
So I think we could pretty much
the foundation for the VFX model. So
yeah,
I think that excuse is they're just trying to pass the buck because they don't want to own up to it. Goes back to what I said earlier. It's like I said, it's just like there's no love or care that's gone into it. No, sorry, not love or care. No care and attention has gone into it. It's almost like once it's been signed off, and I'm not being funny, I have seen god awful stuff signed off by other companies. So I can't put the blame on that one. But it does just look like once it's signed off, that's it. We don't care anymore. And it's a shame. I'm now dreading the stuff that's going to be coming up because, I mean, we have got some insane stuff coming up.
We've got the Dauntless. We've got the Helios.
Well, next month is the Helios, which again everyone has been slating off because it's gold.
For some reason.
Once again, what's the justification? That's the color of the VFX model. No, it's not. The VFX model is not gold.
Yeah.
It is dark grey, and the Nebula makes it gold.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Shrike, which again I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one. And then we've got what else? Then what's after that? Then we've got the Dauntless.
No, we've got the Excelsior 2 is April, I believe.
Oh, is it the
Excelsior
2? That might be June.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got the Dauntless, we've got Luna, and we've got the Excelsior 2.
Yeah, I don't know why we've got a Luna class.
Again, the justification is we haven't had one in a live action paint scheme, which I can sort of get.
Well, we have.
No, but we had a small one. We didn't have an XL size.
Yeah, but do we need an XL size?
No, we don't.
I'm not being funny. The Sutherland could have been done. I mean, heck, I think anybody would have killed for a brand new, up-to-date, correct color scheme Enterprise D, or even an Enterprise D with Syracuse nacelles.
With Scott Saucer.
Yeah, people would have killed for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I am
exactly.
genuinely shitting myself for the dedication plaque.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, as
But
soon as literally the day I saw that was going to be a gift, I genuinely text Mr. Blass and said, I can't wait for this.
yeah.
I hope that they have seen the original file, the original,
Yeah.
which I know there are two of. There's two
Yeah.
of those. There's a
Which we know, yeah.
primary and a secondary.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm really looking forward to it. But what is annoying me a little bit, the image that they have on the website is actually a photo of
Mm-hmm.
the production used dedication plaque. It's not what we're getting.
Yeah.
And I hope it's the same size as these, because I am going to be pissed if it
If
ain't.
it's smaller, I will be so angry. I will be so angry. But getting back to the model, because yes, we have been very negative, but this is, with all of its little flaws, this is
Oh,
stunning.
it's beautiful. And
It
the
is
thing I like about it as
beautiful.
well is the entire top half is die-cast. The
Yeah.
only other niggle that I have is they haven't done a particularly good one of hiding the lines, unlike on last month's issue on
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Fahrenheit,
you can see the
where you
sway
can't
lines.
see
Yeah.
the lines between the plastic and the metal. This
Yeah.
time around, yeah,
But this is
they,
this
they
is this is pride of place at the moment. I mean, I do need to reorganize the wall of bankruptcy, but this is
the F,
pride of
and
place.
I've got the F and the Titan next to my computer monitor now
It
on my
is
desk setup.
it is a stunning model, and this is I would rate this as an 8 out of 10 in terms of
I would give it an 8 out of 10. The only
yeah.
thing I don't like, and this is not down to the model, this is actually down to the VFX model. I
Yeah.
hate the Federation logo on the top of the saucer. But
Yeah.
no other starship has has the United Federation of Planets crest on the starship. Why the hell did they do that on the Enterprise
They
F?
could explain it away in canon by saying, as this was the Federation
Federation
flagship,
flagship. Yes,
it is
exactly.
the
But
blah 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 blah
But
blah.
then so is the E. The E was the
Yeah,
Federation flagship. The D was the even the
but this
C. And the
but
only kind of insignia really you see on a starship is the Delta, and it's normally on the sides, and maybe across the top in some cases, which they've done on this one as
but
well.
this is a byproduct from Star Trek Online, where
Fine.
every Federation ship had
Starship had a Federation logo.
USP logos.
It's
Yeah,
one of my niggles. It's one of the first things I take off when I get my ship is I
yeah.
change the skin pack to get rid of the damn thing.
It's such an annoying thing, and
Yeah.
yes, you can replace it with your fleet logo in game, blah blah blah. But that, in universe, they could say, "Well, this is the symbol of the Federation," but then
Federation.
why hasn't the G got it then?
Why didn't the E have it? Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
the only
Anyway,
other thing, I just going back onto gifts for a second, John, if you're watching, I love you dearly. John Eves, lovely man, incredibly kind human. I would have much preferred a Voyager A instead of the Eves, personally.
Voyager B,
Sorry.
Voyager B.
Yes, sorry. Yes, sorry, yes. Voyager B, sorry. I would have much preferred a Pathfinder Voyager B than the
I
USS.
disagree. I want a USS Eves. I like John. I love you, John.
Oh,
I will be the Mike that gets the brownie points.
Hang on a second. Don't we get a USS Voyager B?
We are currently scheduled for a Voyager A,
Hang
not
on
a
a
Voyager
second.
B.
No, because there's another Pathfinder class that we get.
It's a different member of the crew.
Is there? Hang on.
Yes.
Here's the full roster. Good old Trek Core. Right. So January is Odyssey class. Feb this month. Hang on. Are we a month behind?
Yes.
We are, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Elios is next. Then it's the Shrike. Then it's the Lunar Titan. Then May, I'm really looking forward to, which is the Connie 3XL.
Yeah.
Then it's the Excelsior 2 in June.
Yeah.
Then it's the Dauntless.
Yeah.
Then it's the Archer. USS
The single nacelle from season 1, episode 1.
That fucking stupid thing.
Freedom class, TOS style.
Then it's the Lamar class Voyager A, which is an XO, which I have thoughts about. Then it's the Edison class, the USS Harlan. Then it's the Abina class, which is the Sovereign Excelsior Love Child.
Yeah.
Then it's the Dudestat. Now, I have thoughts on the Dudestat. Why did they do the USS Trumbull
instead of the Intrepid?
Instead of the Intrepid, yeah. Then we got the Protostar, the Gagarin, the Gregory Jean. I am so looking forward to the Gregory Jean. Oh, we get the USS Drexler as the Pathfinder class, which, okay, I'm not slating that one at all. We all love Doug. And then we get Texas class in May 2026. So next May, we get the Texas class, which...
Hooray! I'm not bothered.
Yeah, it's nice, but I can think of so many other ships that I would much rather have had than that, personally.
It might change.
It might change.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, recapping then, we had a mixed experience because you didn't get all your gifts. One of the gifts that I got was damaged and was damaged.
Yeah.
Shame. The magazine, they've fallen back in their ways, and we've got a really naff magazine again, which is a shame. And I think we could all shout off the top of rooftops until we're blue in the face. I have actually passed feedback on to Fanhome through customer services to say that the print quality is shocking. Again, what happened to the magazine in issue 3? It was glossy, it was beautiful. Why have we reverted back? They couldn't give me an answer to that, but they said they're going to pass it on.
Yeah, I'm guessing this was done before the revision.
You think?
Yeah, I genuinely think, yeah, these are not done in order. I think the Farragut is the revised magazine, and then the XLF was in early production, and obviously it was I
think the models maybe, but the magazine's probably already got a couple of weeks lead time on them.
I don't know.
But anyway, which is a shame. And the model is absolutely stunning. No doubt about it. The model is absolutely
beautiful. It is beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous. I am so happy we got this. Do you know what, though? I would love to see. This has got nothing completely unrelated to this topic altogether, really. I would love to see this with Sovereign nacelles.
I would love to see the Lexington variant as well.
What, the old Terran?
No, not the Terran one. Just a Lexington.
Oh,
the Lexington refit from STO. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
We got it. We got it from Eaglemoss. We got the refit from Eaglemoss, but that's just me hoping.
The only thing I would say about that is it's the older version of the Odyssey class that's got the older black topped nacelles.
Yeah,
we're not
but
black.
It's got cool fins.
It kind of reminds me of 50s Chevy or something. With
that's why I love it. It's a Plymouth Fury in space. Come on, guys, that's beautiful. Right. Anyway, let's recap.
Yeah. So to recap, it's NAF magazine mixed on the gifts because they're not quite what everyone was expecting. Model stunning, minus a few niggly bits, which, to be fair, I have already seen that some nice man on eBay for $7.99 will sell you some decals to fix all of the problems with this model, including the 5 impulse engines across the nacelles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just... It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I'm so glad that we got it. As I said, it's as you said, and I'm going to say as well, it's also taking pride of place. So I think I've also noticed a huge typo. Fanhome, last time I checked, the word explore has an E on the front of it.
Oh.
It just says explore.
Explore
our Star Trek Starships collection. Okay, then.
Okay.
On that note, we're going to explore out of it. But no, look, I mean, it's beautiful. As I said, it's just a shame that it goes back to the old adage, the few spoil it for the many.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's what's happened here. There's a few little niggles which spoil the whole experience.
Yeah,
and I think if they just fix these silly little tiny niggles, You know what I mean?
I know.
It wouldn't, and we're not talking much here. We're just talking about some tiny little bits of red paint, please. We don't want orange. And actually just opening up the box of magazines and flicking through and going, well, these are all streaky as fuck. We can't use these. Let's get some more done.
Yeah, just a little bit more quality control
A little
is
bit more
all that is needed.
control is what,
Yeah.
And it's a shame because, as I said, those little annoyances just leave a bit of a sour taste in everyone's mouth, which is a shame because overall it is a really, really beautiful collection.
Stunning model. It is a stunning model and a stunning collection. Yeah,
a whole collection as a whole. You know, I mean, from day one, people were screaming out for a Titan model, and we finally got it. And I just feel like, and also, I said this, I was very surprised at last month's model. Wasn't one that I was particularly excited about. Yes, I'm glad we've got it, but I could think of a dozen ships that I would much rather have had.
Yeah.
So I just feel, maybe some more thought into what's being produced would be useful. I know they've reached out to fans and put posts up about what
feedback is key. Feedback is key from the people who are paying.
It's a new experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Us Star Trek fans have never really had to deal with Fanhome in the past, other than the few that ended up going back to the Enterprise D build your own because they took over that license from Eagle Moss when Eagle Moss went under. I know there's a few problems with that as well. But yeah, I'm just glad that we've got them. But it would just be nice for someone, Fanhome employ a Trekkie. Heck, give me a free subscription every month and I'll do quality control for you. I don't want money, just give me a free ship. But yeah, look, fix the little niggles and we're laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued to see what's coming in the Enterprise G book, if anything.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting. So I think we're going to leave that one there. For everyone watching and listening, remember, you can catch... Oh, I tell you actually, fun fact for you. Going through some statistics today. 60% of you are not subscribed to this video, this channel. 60% of our viewers are not subscribed. So make sure you like and subscribe to this video if you want more content like this. Our special 30th anniversary Voyager series launches... I'm
subscribed.
Well, this will be going out after the first episode, so it launched last week if you haven't seen it. We have got some insane guests, and we've had some guests that don't really do podcasts coming on, and I can't wait for you to see that, so it'd be a shame to miss it. But also, if you're already here for the ship reviews, just make sure you subscribe to us, click that bell click the bell icon even, to get notified for when we post. If not, make sure you check out our website or our Patreon, links of which are in the video description and the episode description below. But until next time, live long and prosper.